I can't believe that this is happening as we're going to be discussing the possibility of Lonnie Walker getting waived. That's right. He just signed an Exhibit 10 contract, and now reports coming from Shams Charania is that he could get waived to keep that roster spot open. So, what does Brad Stevens having for plans? What is Joe Mazzulla thinking about with his rotations? We're going to be diving in and discussing all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys had a great Labor Day weekend. If you guys aren't already following, hit that like button to make sure you stay in the algorithm and to get all the Celtics news leading up to the season. Without further ado, let's dive into the topic at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And like we said in the introduction, the new signing could possibly be getting waived, and we have to break this down and look at it. If you guys missed, the breaking news, go check out the video that was uploaded a couple of days ago. But Lonnie Walker was signed to this Boston Celtics team, ported from Adrian Wojnarowski. Lonnie Walker had agreed on a one-year deal with the Celtics, where he averaged 9.7 points and shot 38% on three-pointers in 58 games for Brooklyn last season. Now we're looking at a report from Shams Charania, where he says that he could get waived for the Celtics to keep that roster spot open. Now, when Woj broke this news down, when we came out with the video, it was reported that he was going to be signing a veteran deal, but then that obviously was expanded and was broken down to an exhibit 10-day contract. That means that Lonnie Walker is invited to training camp. He's going to work out in training camp alongside other guys like Ron Harper Jr., Tristan Nwara, a bunch of other players that the Celtics had on their summer league team to kind of compete for that last roster spot and to compete to make the main Celtics. Now, we're going to look at an article here from our guy. I don't know why it did that. Sorry. Bobby Kravitsky. Bobby Kravitsky here wrote this article for Sports Illustrated, diving in, casting some doubt on Lonnie Walker sticking with the Celtics. So let's dive into it. Last week, Celtics and Lonnie Walker agreed to an Exhibit 10-day contract, like I mentioned. That means the 25-year-old guard will join the reigning NBA champions for training camp, where he'll fight for the 15th roster spot. Like we mentioned, he averaged 9.7 points and knocked down 38.4% of his 4.7 threes. He hoisted up in around 17 and a half minutes of floor time across 58 games with the Nets last season. Now, while Boston does have a defensive bulldog in Jaden Springer, which we did see in the Summer League in that one big game, and they also have first round pick Baylor Shireman and their extended rotation vying for larger roles. Walker would add more firepower for this second unit and help pace Derrick White and Jrue Holiday through their upcoming campaign. Now we know, like Bobby said, they both played over with Team USA in the Olympics, and even though that doesn't say that they're going to raise any concern or see them have any play declining, it would rather show the importance of the diligently managing their minutes and having that depth just be another additional piece for this Boston Celtics squad. We already saw this bench and this depth come alive in the playoffs with guys like Pritchard hitting half court shots, Sam Hauser playing fantastic defense, Xavier Tillman, Neemias Queta, even guys like Luke Cornett stepping up in big moments. So a guy like Walker could definitely be added to that plethora as Walker aims to help up has to aim help with that. San Antonio's former first round pick in the 28 draft is ready to earn his keep with with the defending champions, according to Jeff Garcia of Locked On Spurs and Ken's Five, who spoke with someone from his camp. So even though it is possible that he could get waived, he is hungry. He is ready to go here. But regarding the prospect of the former Miami Hurricane star making the Celtics, Shams Charania, like we said of The Athletic, reported that the sources tell him there's a chance that Walker is waived after camp to keep Boston's 15th roster spot open going into the season. The Celtics go that route instead of converting his Exhibit 10-day deal into a standard contract. They can give him a bonus if he is waived after training camp and play for their G League affiliate in Maine. With Boston already spending a crap ton of money in salaries, over $195 million and $7.6 million over the second apron, that satisfied the league minimum of having 14 players. Obviously, with having some smaller scale deals, will come with an expensive tax, and converting Walker's deal means the Celtics would no longer have a vacant roster spot. They would be full at that 15th spot. But if they are in need in some other position needs, Walker can definitely help out and provide that for this Celtics team. If Walker doesn't get his contract converted, accept him to play to keep parlay his time with the Celtics into an opportunity elsewhere. And that's where I kind of think we hit home here with Bobby is kind of talking about Lonnie Walker because I believe that he's a guy that can make an impact on some of these teams. Truly, with the new CBA and these new rules, it's very difficult for players like Markelle Fultz, players like him who are young, who haven't really shown to be that star potential with some injuries or just not really having their best rookie scale contracts, but still have shown some promise in that regard. They're able to blossom, step up, and show that kind of likeness. I think they could be key players for key roles for some of these teams in that are either younger or maybe even looking to start a playoff push in a couple of years. With the new CBA not being able to give these guys contracts, it's very difficult for that to happen. Now, personally, I'm very shocked by this. I think that Lonnie Walker is very deserving of an NBA contract. I think he deserves to be on the Celtics team, and adding him to this Celtics team would just be even more firepower, like Bobby was saying, to this automatic depth. You plug and play him kind of in that backup two role, maybe even backup three role at some points, to be able to be a defensive prowess on that side, gelling in well with guys like Jrue Holiday, Derrick White, fitting alongside a Jaden Springer or Peyton Pritchard in that lineup, but also being able to provide that shooting as he shot 38% from 3-point range. And I only expect him to get better at that 3-point shooting and that consistency, especially in this Celtic system. We already seen players like Xavier Tillman get a little bit more comfortable, and hopefully with this training camp this season, we'll see him gel into that. Maybe a guy like Lonnie Walker coming into this training camp, if he can get that comfortable three ball down, he could show Joe Mazzulla that he can be a providable piece into this offense. I think it is an absolute home run. Now, obviously, it is not for sure if they're going to keep him or going to waive him. It's kind of going into this, training camp. We're going to have to wait and see when this does happen. And there'll be more news, regarding around Lonnie Walker. So make sure to stay tuned. But at this moment, Shams is saying he possibly could get waived. The Celtics could keep that roster spot open. And that's something that I thought was going to be the case when they signed Lonnie Walker. I was very shocked that they made that move. But then I was even more shocked that it was an Exhibit 10-day contract and that they're obviously testing him out. I think that's the smart move. Definitely don't jump on him immediately. You definitely want to test the waters out with him. And I think that if he comes into training camp and he plays solid enough, he could get that 15th roster spot. But ultimately, Brad could say, let's hold that roster spot open. And Lonnie Walker could just have a great training camp and kind of bounce and go somewhere else. Because if he gets waived by the Celtics team and ends up on the main Celtics, he will not end up there for a long time. That man will find a job in the NBA. If not, converting himself from the main Celtics onto that Celtics roster by the end of the season for sure. Lonnie Walker is not a G League player. That is 100% sure. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I know a lot of people have kind of been talking about this topic, have been touching around it. So I wanted to give my kind of thoughts. Personally, very shocked. Would love to see Lonnie Walker stay on this team. Do I think he's going to be on this team by the start of the season? I think he will be. I'm going to say that he is going to be on this squad. I want him to be on this squad, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I love reading your comments. Shout out what you guys are feeling about this move and how you guys are feeling about this Celtics team in the offseason. We got a little over a month to go with the offseason left. Hopefully we get to see some more news. Hopefully get some more riveting stuff so we can break it down for you guys. Like I said, if you do enjoy the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as we're trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the start of the season, and we're less than 400 away from getting there. But once again, I'm Bruce Veliz. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics.